All right, here we are, another episode of Let There Be Talk. Great guest today. Introduce yourself.
Chris Kael from Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah, man. It's we haven't seen each other in a couple years.
It's been a little bit. I think the last time I saw you was at the it was a comedy show in L.A. with Jim Florentine. From
yeah, we were doing a live podcast.
Oh yeah,
and I didn't know anything about your band.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a massive metal head, of course, but then of course as it gets into the 2000s, you have your bands. You know, like I listen to 80s metal or whatever.
Oh, yeah. In LA, you have to.
Yeah, right. And then Florentine was like, oh, no, you got to check out their band. And then your story was incredible. And I was like, oh, I got to have you on. Because you were on for a couple minutes on just a live episode.
Oh, yeah.
So it's great. Here we are in Vegas.
Yes, my hometown. Been out here for 14 years at this point.
Yeah, and your whole story is amazing because you play bass, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know you play bass now, but I'm saying you played bass and you moved to Vegas. You're a bartender or whatever, and then you quit or whatever, and then you land this gig. Let's talk about that. What happened?
Basically, what happened was, I came out to Vegas 14 years ago. The wife and I came out here with the intent of, pursuing music. And the original intent was moved out to L.A. actually.
Yeah, I was going to say like Vegas.
Yeah,
you're like back then. You're like pursuing what, like either the Killers or a cover band, right?
Exactly. Oh yeah, and pretty much everybody's doing the cover thing out here now as it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, we flew into Vegas, and we're going to drive to L.A. to check that out. And as soon as we flew into Vegas, Natalie, my wife, was like, "This is it. This is where I want to be. It's so gaudy and tacky, and the bright lights and whatnot."
Now, where were you coming from?
From Kentucky.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I came from Lexington, Kentucky.
And Vegas just touches you guys like that because most people it touches them for the weekend and then they're like, let's get the fuck out.
Exactly. Continues to touch for a couple of days after that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, we loved it, and actually we drove out to L.A. On that trip to check that out. And I just got out to L.A. and I was like, I don't like the vibe as much as I like the vibe that we had in Vegas. Just something about Vegas was calling to me, So
now wait, hold on. Let me ask you something.
Yeah,
you're coming from Kentucky. Are you all packed up, or are you just looking for places to live?
At that point, we were looking for places to live.
So you say, let's go to Vegas, look at that, then we'll go to L.A., then we'll come back from to Kentucky and move.
Exactly.
And what were you doing in Kentucky? Were you playing in a metal band?
I was actually, I had just quit a metal band back there. We were kind of like the big fish in a little pond.
Right.
And
what were they called?
That was called Cut, Love, Kill.
Cut, Love, Kill. And what was the sound of that band?
Kind of Machine Head meets Nothing Face, I guess. Kind of metal, kind of groove type stuff.
What a record that Blackened record is, huh?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that record is. I grew up with those guys.
Oh, nice.
And it's really insane to think how a band in the middle of their career could put out an epic fucking record.
A masterpiece.
It really is, man.
We had the chance to do Mayhem. And Machine Head was on that tour, so I got to go over there and watch every single day. And Halo is one of my favorite songs on there.
Man, what a record!
Oh yeah,
it's crazy because Rob, you got to think like back in the Violence days and all that. And then they start Machine Head. They have different phases. They're Korn style for a bit.
Right.
They're doing this, whatever. And then this record comes out, and they do a Metallica tour, and their whole life changes. So it's like never give up.
Hell yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? Never give up.
I'd stand true to that as well,
yeah, me too, man. It's like lifers, That's what I always call it. It's like, oh, that guy's a lifer. So you're in a metal band and you quit because it kind of hits the ceiling.
Yep, exactly.
And you said it's time to move out.
Time to get out and pursue something new. So we moved out to Vegas. I was bartending. Started off at Red Lobster of all places. Actually, that's where we met. Nothing like seeing a hot chick in a fish shirt, So,
wait, you met your lady at the Red Lobster?
Yeah, in Lexington. Yeah,
so you worked at Red Lobster, then you moved to Vegas.
Exactly. Yeah, I was looking for bigger things.
Wow, it's pretty incredible. You're still married to your lady too.
Oh, yeah.
In the life of rock and roll, we'll get into that, but it's just insanity.
Yeah.
Because first of all, the dude is always a broke dirtbag. So
I had that for many years too.
You're so lucky that you meet your lady and then she stays with you the whole time, so she likes you pre-fame.
Exactly, 100%.
So you're at the Lobster.
At the Lobster, we fly out to Vegas. Actually, we drove out to Vegas. Been there for many years. At that point, came up to be God, what were we out here? 10 years, I guess.
And are you looking for bands? Are you answering ads?
I was kind of doing. I did another band out here. Just kind of a little small thing that toured locally and kind of did that thing, but it never got to where I thought it was going to go to. After several years of doing that, I went to. I was working at the Hard Rock, quit that, and went to the Cosmopolitan. And at this point.
No, what are you doing? Bartending?
Bartending, exactly.
At all the places?
Exactly, yeah. Bartender by trade.
Before we get into you getting into a band and stuff, let's talk a little dynamics of bartending in Vegas. It's got to be a fucking kick in the face, right?
A lot of the times it is. It's for
you're
sure.
just dealing with these whatever happens in Vegas, that shit. You're dealing with the 400, bachelor and bachelorette parties a weekend. And really drunk buffoons with cigars that don't know how to smoke them, and they're blowing them in your face, and a lot of fucking bad music,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like techno and all that shit's going on in the clubs around. You can hear it.
Mm-hmm. See, I was pretty good, though. I worked at the Hard Rock Cafe.
That's fucking great.
For 7 or 8 years, actually.
The Circle Bar?
No, I was actually you have the Hard Rock Hotel. I was at the Hard Rock Cafe right there in the parking lot, the restaurant out there.
Oh, I got you.
So
that Circle Bar, man. That's
money right there. That's where everybody wanted to work for a while.
People just get drunk and fucked up and tip like 20s and 30s, and then come back and ask for it back.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Check the camera.
yeah. Can I get that money back? I'm broke now. Which is interesting. They changed that little room into a big concert hall now, right?
Oh, yeah. They've got the, are you talking about the joint right there?
Yeah, the joint.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. We've done that one a couple times. I think 3 times
saw
now.
Metallica in there.
No
New
way.
Year's Eve, yeah.
Oh,
did some special thing where you just pay like $500 and see them in a small room, man.
Oh, that would have ruled. Who was the opening act on that?
They just played An Evening With.
I got you.
Yeah.
They got enough songs for that?
I know, right? They could have just done Justice for All and it'd be enough. So
a residency for a full week and never played the same song twice.
I'm just storming all over your story because I think it's interesting. The last interview I did here was with my buddy who played bass in the Blue Man Group.
Oh, very nice. Which guy's that?
He played years ago.
Okay.
And then I can't really talk about it because he signed something. He got hurt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I can't mention his name.
Okay.
But, I guess I could. But anyway, I don't know what his dynamics is, but he got hurt and did a payout.
Huh. I'll be damned.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we know a lot of those guys, too. Like Vegas is, looks like a big city, but musically kind of a bastardized circle of friends. That's I getting into that later. That's how I got the gig with Death Punch, too, the small circle
Vegas
of friends.
Is really... like I was here a couple months ago and I was singing. I just sat in with a cover band up down there at the South Point.
Okay.
And Eddie Trunk walks in,
nice.
And he said he loves Vegas. He wants to move out here. Mike Varney loves Vegas. He moved out here. Who owns Shrapnel Records.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you got Jakey Lee, and then of course all these guys doing the rock vault shit.
Exactly. Blas Elias from Slaughter lives out here too.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Slaughter was originally from Vegas.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that is right. Yeah,
he's still staying strong, and I think he's doing the Blue Man Group and another band called the Sin City Sinners out here.
Right,
big cover band.
And then there's that. It's a weird dynamic, like the pawn shop show.
Exactly.
And then there's another dude that has like a car building show. I went to that guy's place. He's got like a full recording studio and everything.
Which show
was
that
there by
one?
Stratosphere. What was that car building show?
I'm not sure which one that one is.
Yeah, I don't know these.
Oh, it's Counting Cars?
I don't know. He builds like a crazy car. It's like, Discovery Channel show.
Yeah, it might be the Count. He's also got the club called Vamped out here.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, well, he's got a recording studio. That's
I didn't know that. Okay, yeah.
Oh, man, behind the fucking Stratosphere. This thing is insane,
I can imagine, yeah.
So that's why I like to talk to people that lived in Vegas, because it's really a strange animal.
Yeah, but everybody always assumes that there's a lot of craziness going on. But once you get off the Strip, it's like any other city you live in. But you always have the option of going down the Strip, or there's always entertainment down here. Everything's open 24 hours.
Yeah. Now people that live here, they don't go to the Strip. They go down to the hipster area down there, the old Vegas part. That's cool down there, right?
Fremont East down there. Yeah, they got a lot of new buildings and developments down there, and that's the new focus for Vegas these days. I love it down there. It's great.
Yeah. Okay, so you're working at the Hard Rock.
Working at the Hard Rock.
You were in another band. It doesn't happen.
Yep, that one kind of blew up, and it went away. And at some point, I was like, I've been doing this for a long time. It hasn't really gotten to where I thought it was going to go to, or where I wanted it to go to. maybe it's time to start doing something new, you know? And at this point, I just quit the Hard Rock and was working as a bartender at the pool at the Cosmopolitan. That's a whole different vibe.
That's pretty wild,
there.
right?
Yeah, that was a great job.
So you're doing the Sunday day parties and shit like that?
Oh, yeah. Yep. It was great. Yeah, great money. And, you know, I was at a point where, you know, I was kind of focusing on something new. And the wife and I had talked about opening up like a small bar / 4 or 6 room hotel down in Belize. Something like small, manageable.
A boutique thing?
Yeah, exactly.
In Belize?
In Belize, yeah. Yeah, because we're both scuba divers and love it down there.
Yeah.
And,
now, what people don't understand is, and I say it over and over and over, what takes an artist out of the game, especially like strip club DJs, bartenders, anything where it's fast, it's drug dealing style money, quick money. You're like, oh my God, all of a sudden you're making maybe $5,000 a week, maybe $2,000 a week. What, you're making crazy money there?
It was decent money, yeah, for sure, real good. Actually, for the first few years in Death Punch, I took a pay cut to be in Death Punch versus the money I was making in Vegas. Exactly.
Yeah, but you got your soul back.
That is true. That is well. Kinda. I think I sold the soul to get the gig for the most part, but
yeah.
So I was at the Cosmopolitan making a lot of money, and got to a point where I was like, okay, maybe this music thing's not going to work out. I literally put up my basses on Craigslist.
Really?
Had my amps, my cabinets, everything was on Craigslist, and I was like, okay, I'm going to take that money, put it into a fund, because, you know, at some point once I get enough money, I'll be able to open up this beach bar hotel thing. And going back a little bit, in December, I had heard that Death Punch was looking for a bass player because they all lived in Vegas at that point too.
They're a Vegas band.
Vegas band. They're originally from LA, and then came to Vegas a couple years ago, and ended up losing their bass player. And again, small circle of friends. A friend of mine came to me and was like, "Hey, man, Death Punch just lost their bass player. You should audition."
Now, were they big at the time? How many records in?
They were 2 records in. So War is the Answer had already been out. They'd already done Way of the Fist, and the big Bad Company cover had kind of taken them, started getting that upswing. And things were going really well for them at that point.
Yeah, so they're happening.
Yeah, exactly. I think they had 2 gold records at that point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which is fucking incredible in the world of stealing and downloading.
Exactly. And with the name Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think 500,000 people would be into that. But
yeah, exactly. Wow, that's impressive.
Oh, yeah.
I've had bands on here, and some have sold crazy records in the 2000s. I think some bands touch people and they go, I want to support them. And they just, they buy the stuff.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah, we're one of those bands that, you know, in a time where people aren't buying a lot of records, we have a very supportive fan base that has a personal connection with us. I don't know if it's through all the social media stuff we do, where they feel like there's, you know, a real solid connection friend-wise or whatever. But yeah, people support us and they're still buying records. The new record, Got Your Six, came out a few months ago, and we sold physical copies, 114,000 right out of the gate.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the one with Jekyll and Hyde and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So still, I mean, 114 right out of the gate.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane because you'll see a big band put a record out. I saw somebody and they said, oh, they sold 64,000.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, wow.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
it's still at number 4 or 5 on Billboard. You're like, what the hell happened?
64,000 back when I played music, you got dropped.
Oh, yeah, easily. Yeah,
they were like, see ya.
Yeah, underground punk labels were dropping you if you were selling 64.
So you get the word they're looking for a bass player.
Yeah, I get the word they're looking for a bass player, and a good friend of mine from high school named Saul was Jeremy's drum tech. Jeremy's the drummer for Death Punch. And I'd known Saul for 20 years at that point.
Back in Kentucky?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And I told him, I was like, hey, man, just get me an audition. I want to audition. So this was in December. Rolls around to May, which is when I started thinking about, getting something else. I still hadn't heard
shit, right?
Hadn't heard shit, not a damn thing. And started looking for, that other goal, was going to do the hotel thing. One night I went to the Palms to go see System of a Down. They were playing at the Pearl there.
Yeah.
And I used to always do this thing where I would look at the band on stage and then look at the crowd and be like, oh, someday that crowd's going to be mine.
Yeah.
That night when I did it, like the proverbial white light went off. I was like, motherfucker, if you want it, go after it. You haven't gone after this.
Yeah.
You've been trying to go through friends, being lazy about it, but haven't gone after it. Anything you've wanted in life that you've gone after, you've gotten, but you haven't gone after this. So go after it. So that night,
that's what happens at concerts, right? You get re-fired up.
Exactly.
Like
inspired.
I go see big stand-ups in big arenas. Like, is it Louis C.K.?
Oh, yeah.
I see him in clubs and stuff, but I'll go and see him and I'll be like, man, I got to get home and write more.
Exactly.
I got to get better. You know what I mean? They inspire you.
It's good to see that person up there doing what you want to do, how you want to do it, and then kind of modeling yourself and trying to get there too.
It gives you an original reminder of when you first fell in love with it.
Exactly.
Whoever you saw, like me, Kiss, you're like, oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
I love this shit.
Same with System of a Down that night. I had given up selling stuff on Craigslist. So that night I went home. I was like, I'm going to get in touch with somebody from Death Punch. So I got on Facebook, of all things, and found Jason Hook, the guitarist.
Still no bass player they got. It's weird how long they take, right? We're talking December?
Yeah, in December, I didn't realize that their goal was to write and record American Capitalist. That way they didn't have to deal with trying to find somebody new during that and could focus on the creative process, get that done, and then find a bass player after the record was done.
Who was going to play bass? Just a studio guy?
The producer, Kevin Churko.
Oh yeah, there
Kevin
you go.
Churko, yeah.
He
pretty much
bass.
like the sixth member of Death Punch. So they were finishing the record. I put out a message to Jason, and I was like, hey, my name's Chris. Look no further. I'm your guy. I hear you're looking for a bass player. Check your mutual friends. We had like 15 mutual Vegas friends. And I was like, check with your mutual friends. I'm sure they'll give me a positive recommendation. All I'm looking for is an audition.
Yeah.
Next day, Jason gets back to me and is like, that was very forward, but I like it. And he asked me about how my vocals were and stuff like in Cut Love Kill I was doing main vocals, playing bass, and was writing most of the stuff at that point too.
Is there a lot of backgrounds on this band?
Oh yeah. Are you talking about the old band?
No, the new on
Death Punch?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot. Yeah. And they've been very open about letting me get up and do background vocals, and I'm doing a song on the new tour off the new record called Got Your Six. I'm doing the verses in that. So they've been very, very cool with me.
That's dope. I mean, that was a big thing with Jason and Metallica.
Oh, yeah.
Like when you see him, he literally could mirror James' voice. Mm-hmm. So it'd be like, say your prayers, pray. He could do all that great. And he was a great, they added so much to it.
And doing, he had his own song that he did. He was doing Whiplash with those guys.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
And I'm a huge Jason fan, huge Metallica fan. So when they allowed me to do Got Your Six, that's the first thing I was thinking of. I was like, yes, I'm following in Jason's footsteps here. This is cool.
I miss Jason in that band.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, Trujillo, great guy, nice guy and stuff. But to me, of course, I'm a Cliff Burton guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with that. But I think Justice and the Black Album are fucking monumental pieces of music in the world of Metallica.
Oh, yeah.
And Jason was incredible in that. It was really weird. He had that band last year, and it's already gone.
Oh, yeah, Newstead.
Yeah, I mean, strange. I'd love to talk to him. Like, what the fuck happened?
Exactly.
He goes full force, and then poof, gone.
Oh, yeah. I think we were with him on his last tour that he did with Newstead, which was an Australian tour. We did Soundwave, so I got to meet him. Actually, this is funny. I'm going to get back to my old story in a second.
Absolutely.
But we were in Australia, and I'd been doing Death Punch for a little while, and I'm a very humble guy. I know I'm in this big band, and I've got this profile now, but I don't think about it at all. I'm still the same guy I was back in Kentucky. Yeah. So we were on the side of the stage watching Cold Chamber, I think it was, and the guys from In This Moment were there. And then Jason was next to him. And I was getting ready to do our set. So I was standing by to the guys from In This Moment. And Jason was right there. And I was like, hey, man, I just want to introduce myself. And he slapped me on the chest and goes, I know who you are, you fuck.
Yeah.
I go, all right, I guess I made it now.
Wow, man. Right.
I was like, a guy I grew up idolizing slapped me in the chest and told me, I know who you are, you fuck.
Did you watch his set?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got to see it many times while we were over there.
Man, great, right?
Incredible. Yeah, great guys in the band, too.
Yeah, bummer, man.
Dude from Stained was in there.
Yeah, that's right.
What is his name?
The guitar player.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was in that. Mike Mushok, that's it.
Yeah, man. That EP was killer.
I loved it. It was great.
I was like, wow, this is great. And now it's just gone.
Just gone. Knowing him, he's got to be doing something. Getting ready, chomping out the bit. Once you've got that musical bug and you've got Metallica money, you can do whatever you want and quit it whenever you want to, I guess.
I saw him back in Metallica at the 40 or 30-year anniversary at the Fillmore.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just incredible to see him back up there,
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good stuff.
Yes. Okay, so let's go.
So I contacted Jason. Jason gets back to me the next day. I send him an MP3 of some old stuff that I'd written, recorded, was singing and playing bass on. They liked the vocals. Got back to me, I think like the following, it was Wednesday, I think, when they got back to me. I had an audition on Saturday, And then the following Friday, I got word that I had the gig. So,
Whoa, wow.
Yeah, it went fast.
So let's talk about the audition. How many songs you play when
I did
you go?
3 songs. When I got
and
it
now are you fucking crazy nervous, or are you just like, I got this?
You know, it was one of those things where I've done auditions before. You know the band Systematic?
Yeah.
I auditioned for those guys years ago and was told that I looked too much like the guitarist and the vocalist at that point. Everybody was bald, big guys, and it's like, oh, you know, we're going to give it to this other guy. So I thought I had that one. And, you know, so I've been to auditions and, you know, it was close, but never really got it. So this time when I got it, again, I got the word on Wednesday that I was going to have an audition on Saturday. So I gave up all my bartending shifts Wednesday, Thursday,
Yeah, because you
Friday.
hadn't played in a while now, right?
No, I was still playing and whatnot.
Even though you were selling your shit?
Oh yeah, I'm always kind of, you know, writing and you know, even though I was quitting, I still got the bug.
1 foot in.
Yeah, exactly. Always the toe was still testing the water, you know.
Now, when you go down, it's here in Vegas. Is it like you guys have rehearsal studios out here, or they got their own joint?
Exactly, just rehearsal studios.
So you're your own roadie, right? You bring your shit in.
Yep.
And are they in the room just like small talking, waiting for you to set up?
It was really easy actually. This place had all the instruments already set up. I just had to bring in my bass, bring in my Sans amp pedal, plug it in, and go. So it was really easy.
So they're there. They say, "All right, what one you want to play?" Or they told you what songs to do.
They told me what songs to do. That week, again, I'd given away all my bartending shifts. I was like, if I go in there and I don't get it, it's not going to be on me.
Yeah.
I'm making sure I practiced those 3 songs 8 hours a day for each of those 3 days. I was like, I'm coming in, I'm nailing this. It's going to be on them if I don't get it. Whatever they decide, it's not going to be because I'm a screw up. So I practiced it, got it all good. I walked in, and again, I was supposed to be doing background vocals.
Right.
I walk in, Ivan, the lead singer, isn't there. It's just the musicians.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh my God, do I know these?
He's not even there?
No, because at that point they'd done a whole bunch of auditions.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know, you guys are the musicians. You're going to have to play with this guy. So if you find somebody that you are comfortable working with musically, I want to meet him after that to give it the final, you know, stamp of approval.
That's insane.
Yeah, so, you know.
I mean, I can't even imagine that. You know, like, hey, you guys pick the dude, and because, you know, it's a lot of it's vibe, too.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like Jason, they play, and then they go out to Tommy's joint, and they have a beer. So, I mean, but that was like a hang thing. They hang with him to see what, you know.
Yeah. Like I said, this one was, they threw me in with the musicians. If the musicians liked it, then we would do the hang after.
Yeah.
Make sure it worked musically, and then the hang came after. But yeah, I walked in, Ivan wasn't there, and automatically that's when I got nervous. I was like, do I know these songs good enough to be able to go in and do background vocals without the vocal cues?
Yeah.
But again, 8 hours a day for 3 days in a row, I had it. So
8 hours a day.
Yeah, it was literally 8 hours a day, just over and over and over again.
That's when you start fucking up, right? Because you go for like a long time, and then you go, I got these, but it's so long you start getting blurry.
Yeah, you start questioning things like what was that one part? Yeah, exactly. I did get a lot of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I walked in, and the first song we did was a song off of War is the Answer called No One Gets Left Behind. And it's one of those things I immediately have to come in and do vocals. So I was doing the chant at the beginning of the song, and they all kind of looked at each other and was like, unless this guy's a fuck up, this is the guy.
Wow.
Yeah, right from the beginning of the vocals.
And you could see him doing that? You're feeling it?
I found that out later. Actually, I felt good about the vibe.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Yeah, after I was done, I came home and I told Natalie, I was like, I got this. The gig is mine. She's like, slow down. Don't get too excited. Yeah, I even told Saul, the drum tech, I was like, man, I fucking nailed it. I got this. I'm in. Calm down. We've been here before. Don't get too excited.
Yeah.
And again, it was one of those things. They'd had 2 gold records at that point. They could pick anybody they want. Why the hell would they pick Bartender from Vegas? You know, with no other bands that anybody ever heard about. And I ended up.
So they call you and they tell you?
So I did the gig on Saturday.
Yep.
Tuesday rolls around. I get an email from Zoltan. Zoltan's our guitarist. It said, hey, this is the set list for the summer festivals that we're doing. You might want to go ahead and start learning these. And I'm like, he didn't say I have the gig. Is this another part of Audition? Am I got to go do more songs?
Yeah.
I don't know. So I was still very tentative. And so I started learning those songs. I got to be Thursday.
You don't ask him, like, am I in?
No, I wouldn't. I wasn't going to push at all.
That's fucking hilarious.
Was not going to push.
Hey, learn these.
Yeah.
For what? like for fun?
Yeah. Just as a backup, just in case, you know?
Yeah.
So it gets to be Thursday. He gives me a text or an email. I can't remember what it was, but he's like, hey, man, Want to do dinner at PF Chang's on Friday. Ivan's going to be there. Wants to meet you. Kind of feel the vibe.
Yeah.
Bring your wife with you, and we'll do dinner. I'm like, okay, they invited the wife this time, but I still haven't heard. Do I have the gig? I don't know.
Oh, my God.
I was like, I'm nervous.
I think that's where I would blow it.
Oh.
'Cause I'm like, yeah, so I'm in, right? I mean, what the fuck? I don't want to bring my wife and you say I'm not in.
Yeah, exactly.
Clown me in front of my lady.
Yeah, exactly. Come in, fire me right there, right in the beginning. So we get there a little bit early. We walk in. Ivan's already there. We're hanging out with him a little bit. Zoltan and his girl show up. And one of the first things Zoltan goes was, so... You know you got the gig, right? I'm like, oh, thank God, thank God. So I knew at PF Chang's,
wow,
over in Summerlin here in Vegas.
Wow.
That's where I got it.
Now, no check for $1 million like Metallica.
No,
I know that a lot of people. The only reason I bring that up is people think like, oh, well, they got a couple gold records, so you're instantly rich, right? You
Yeah.
got a Corvette and a house.
Exactly.
No, these guys don't have any money, right?
For that whole first summer when I was Death Punch bass player, I was still working at the Cosmopolitan as a bartender.
Yeah.
I didn't tell anybody at Cosmo I had the gig because I was like, I don't want anybody to know just in case, I get fired at the end of this thing. I don't know what's going to happen.
How did you keep that job? Can you just put in for shifts?
No, what we did there was Death Punch was doing summer festivals, all the U.S. stuff,
Right.
And so we would play on the weekend.
Oh.
I'd be out there in front of 15, 20,000 people,
Yeah.
Come back to Vegas, bartending on Monday.
Oh, man.
I did that for a full 6 months, probably into Death Punch.
Zero money. Now, I don't want to get too much into business, but once you're in, do you? And this is a sensitive question because I'm an artist myself, and I never ask, well, what's the money?
Right.
But after you're out a little bit, you go, should I ask them about the money, or do they sit down and go, let's talk business?
It was business right out the gate.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, right out the gate, because they've been doing
just
it.
a hired guy?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Hired
gotcha.
gun right out the gate.
Right.
So, yeah.
And they just tell you this is how much you get in a gig and
Yep.
cool, and
Oh, yeah.
No T-shirt money, nothing, just you're on.
Exactly. Here's your money,
Right.
and then it's gotten better where I don't. Death Punch is my only job now.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't have anything else other than I do like a T-shirt line and stuff on the side
Yeah.
with my
It's
face all over
It's
everything.
incredible because I can relate with you so much because I'll go out and I'll open for Mark Maron or something, and it'll be 5,000 people in a theater, or Russell Peters 10,000,
Oh, yeah.
and the next night I'm doing an open mic.
Exactly.
And people are like, "You're at an open mic?" It's like, hey man, I do comedy. If it's
Exactly.
in front of 15,000 people or 10 people, I do comedy.
Yep.
I don't know what to tell you.
Always building the chops.
Yeah.
Always, for sure.
And that's got to be weird, right? Because you're out, you're playing arenas, then you're at the Cosmo, and the girls come up, hey, get me a drink, you fucking dirtbag. Right?
I'll have whatever you're having. Yeah.
Wow. So when you get the gig, Belize is out the door immediately. Belize
Well,
Hotel.
at that point, I'm like, hey, now I'm really going to be making money.
Yeah.
That'll happen even faster. But that's
Yeah.
still yet to be seen. We'll see where that goes.
I get you. Now,
At least now I know plenty of musicians, so I can have that beach bar with a live music every day. And hey, come on down. And comedians now too.
Yep, exactly.
Come down, spend a week, take the stage.
yeah, I have this similar dream of not living in Belize, but I love this place, Rancho Pescadero.
I heard you talk about that on the
Yeah.
podcast the other day.
So I was just there again, and Self Edge opened a place down in this place called Flores Farm, and it really is. I think we live in such a, you and I and musicians and entertainers, it's such a full throttle gig that at any time you go, I could step off and just be here. But then I get scared, like, is that for 3 weeks? And I go, let's get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, because you go down and you build your Belize place, and then you go, oh, let's get out of here.
Rent this out.
Right? Do you think about that? Like,
Oh, yeah.
I want to touch off one day and just completely tap out of the world.
Oh yeah. I tell everybody that you're going full swing out here on the road. So much stuff going on. You're doing interviews. You're playing shows, meet and greets, meeting with fans, and then you get home, and it's hard to adjust sometimes. The hardest part of being home is the week before you leave.
Yep.
And the week when you get back, because it's such a transition,
It really is. You just got home from tour just now.
Like 2 days ago.
Yeah. Now, how long were you out for?
We were in Europe for 4 weeks. I was home 2 weeks before that, and then we were out in the States for 5 weeks before. So essentially, I've been gone for about 3 months in a row.
Does your lady go with you?
She's coming out a couple of different times. She actually just got back from London with us as well.
Right.
Yeah, she came out. She was supposed to go to Paris before the whole attacks happened.
Yeah,
but
man. Then now you were out during this, and this is some scary shit.
Oh, it's crazy.
Because I even want to talk to you about it, but you don't even know if like people are like siphoning things and like get these guys targets or whatever, you know?
Oh, it's scary. Really, really scary.
It's crazy.
So I was on stage. I forget where we were the night of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was getting texts from my wife. Our guitar tech was getting texts from his mom. We were all like, what the hell's going on? You know, you're in the middle of a show getting texts from people.
Wow.
Your phone's blowing up. You're like, what the hell's happening, you know?
How do you know you're getting texts? You're not checking it during show, are you?
All the time. Actually, all the time.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Well, we have this thing where in between.
No.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
No fucking way.
We've got the whole back area. I keep my cell phone right on top of my amp.
No.
I'm going back there tuning, just check and see.
I'll
say hi to her. I'm
You're
like,
kidding me,
I swear
right?
to God.
Oh,
I'm on it all the time. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I'm a phone and a social networking whore.
I know you're on it a lot, but man, mid-gig?
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't even imagine. Like when I do comedy, it's the only time I'm on stage and I go, fuck yeah, I'm not addicted to my phone right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I goddamn these phones, man.
Yeah. Really, the only person I'm ever getting in touch with is my wife on back there. Like, hey, this is a great show. This show's kind of weird. I don't know. Great crowd.
Right.
Yeah. So that kind of thing. That way I'm involving her too, keeping in touch with home, keeping that line going.
You guys had to cancel a gig, right?
Yeah, we were supposed to go into Strasbourg, France the next day, but France had shut the borders down completely. So we weren't able to do that one. We postponed that one. Then a couple of days later, we hear that our name came up as a potential target at a show in Milan. And that's when stuff really gets real.
Yeah.
You think about, this happens, but then to see your name associated with that, you're like, what the hell is going on?
Now, who told you that?
The group Anonymous actually had been hacking into sites associated with those guys and found a couple of different threats that were supposed to be happening that day. And apparently, according to what we've heard, they put it out to the authorities. Authorities didn't do anything. They were like, we pretty much have to say something at this point. So they put out a release talking about the targets that were going on, and we were on there.
Wow.
Yeah. So
now, you canceled the gig, right?
Postponed it. Postponed, yeah.
I mean, it's so scary because when you're doing what you love, you're in your own world on stage, you know?
Yeah.
And just to think about this element now is in the world of it. It's I keep saying over and over, man, make sure you're doing what you're loving in life because shit's changing, man.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
You know?
Life is far too short not to be doing something that you love.
Right? And I'm so glad that you got this gig because, it's a weird thing. I run into a lot of old friends. How old are you?
Just turned 41.
Right. I'm going to be 50 in a couple months. And I run into a lot of friends who, they had the dream playing music, and then there's one day they just tap out.
Oh, yeah. Happens
and you'll
all
run
the time.
Yep. And you'll run into them, and you just they're going, you're still doing it right on. And it's tough, man.
It really is. Like, I feel very fortunate that I saw Gene Simmons from Kiss at the age of 4 in a show called 3-2-1 Contact. They did a little piece on them, and as soon as I saw him, I was like, I don't know what he's doing, but that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I can't think of anybody that I know that at the age of 4 had that dream, had that vision, knew what they wanted to do, and then at my age of 41 is actually doing that dream.
So it was Kiss for you because everyone on my podcast, it's it's either Kiss or it's like Zeppelin.
Oh, yeah.
So Zeppelin, I think, is a little older people,
Yeah.
But Kiss is like the gateway.
Oh, yeah.
And really, when you looked at Gene Simmons, people don't understand the magnitude of Gene when you're in like 7th grade.
Oh, yeah.
And, Alive too. That photo of him on that cover is really
coming up on the risers with the fire and everything.
The smoke, the fire. I mean, nobody did that.
Not at all. Yeah,
Nobody
they completely
did it.
changed
Every
the
night
game.
he risked his life spitting fire.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes he was lit on fire.
And his hair.
And
Yeah,
his
ripped
hair, yeah, and it's and then he flew, and then he spit the blood and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody did that, and his makeup was fucking great.
Oh, yeah.
I often trip out on like they pick their faces, and there was of course a little modification, but out of the gate, that's their looks.
Oh, yeah.
Like I mean. Like he's the demon, and then Paul's the star, and then the spaceman, and the cat. But those things are fucking like, I mean, you see him a mile away.
100%.
And you just go kiss right there.
Oh, yeah. You can see him like drawn images of just the makeup.
Yeah.
You know exactly what it is.
You still listen to Kiss?
Oh, yeah. We did a couple of shows with those guys overseas last year. Sweden Rock Festival, a couple other things. So, yeah, we were just watching... God, there was some like live footage that Jason found, and we were watching it on the bus in Europe just this past week.
I don't really listen to the records anymore, except for Alive 2.
Yeah.
But Creatures is my fucking record now.
Love it.
I mean, I always loved it. I saw the Creatures tour. Motley opened.
Oh, no way.
Oh, yeah. They had
Nice.
the fucking tank and Vinnie Vincent just crushing it with the Randy Rhoads fucking gold V,
Oh, yeah. Yep.
But man,
Was he doing the pink at that point? Did he have the
he
pink
had
guitar?
the gold one. When I saw it was like gold sparkle.
Okay.
And then the pink was no makeup.
Okay,
I
yeah.
believe
He
when
got
I saw-
around. I know when he was doing the Vinnie Vincent Invasion.
Right.
That's when I remember the big pink guitars and
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah. And then that was his own model. But
Oh, yeah.
The first
that's
two
right.
were kind of Randy Rhoads models. And I had heard that those were supposed to be for Randy. And then I had Kelly Rhodes on. He said, no, that's a myth, which was cool to finally hear that.
yeah.
That there was a next one for Randy.
Okay.
And it went to some music store in like Culver City by accident.
Oh, no way.
Or it was like, well, he's not getting it. And some kid bought it.
Damn.
And owns like, would have been the third one for Randy,
Damn, yeah.
That shit's wild
Oh,
to
yeah.
think.
I wonder whatever happened to that polka dot one that he had.
Somebody his parent, his mom just passed away like last week.
I remember
Bummer,
seeing
man.
that.
But they have that. They
Okay.
have all
Oh.
three guitars. They have the cream V. I mean,
Right.
the cream Les Paul, the polka dotted V, and the Concord white Jackson. And then he had a black one later. Like, Kirk Hammett played.
We were talking about Machine Head. I think Phil Demmel actually has.
Yeah, he plays the Randy Rhoads actual one with
yeah.
the Concord.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Or the polka dot. He has one of them. I seen him play it,
And Phil, we talked about this forever ago. I will gladly trade you one of my signature model bass guitars for one of your signature model guitars. So give me a call, buddy. You got the number.
Now you have your own signature bass.
I do, yeah.
Well, now who makes it?
Spectre.
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 Oh, that's some Rudy Sarzo shit, right?
It is, yeah.
I had Rudy on, and he said that the Flying V with the polka dots, actually headstock broke off a couple times.
No way. Oh, damn.
Because it's so long.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And have you seen Judas Priest with Richie Faulkner?
Unbelievable.
He's got such a Randy Rose vibe. I love it.
Unbelievable,
Yeah.
right? He plays that cream cream
Flying
Les
V.
Paul. He has a Flying V with the binding.
Oh, yeah.
But he's also playing a Les Paul when I saw him, which
Oh,
was pretty
nice.
dope.
Oh, yeah.
And man, he kills it like early KK Downing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
With the straight hair.
They could not have found a better dude to take that spot. We did shows with those guys over in Europe as well, and it was awesome watching him. I'm not really like a solo guy.
Yeah.
Especially guitar solos when you're doing it live. It's like, oh, all right, time to go grab a Coke or something.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
But yeah, his solo, I watched it every single night. It was just awesome. The way he played was kind of like doing a song with Scott Travis. It was just very entertaining. And
Travis kills it, man.
Oh, yeah. He
Remember
lives
him
here in
from
Vegas,
Racer
too.
X?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Travis does live out here.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, shit, I'd like to get a hold of him, man.
There we go.
Get him on because Racer X is still so, it's held up by the metal nerds as the, that's the one. That and Cacophony.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What was that album?
It had and that singer lives out here. Pete, he sang in Le Mans, which was signed to CBS. Yeah, they were like a rock band that had Derek Frigo, who played in Enough's Enough later.
Oh, nice. Okay, there we go.
But yeah, I go all over the board.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you listen to only metal?
For the most part, I also listen to like punk and hardcore.
Yeah.
But yeah, punk, hardcore, metal. That's basically the big three for me.
Now, what made you pick Spectre? Was it like Rudy?
Actually, I was a big fan of Rex Brown from
yeah,
Pantera,
that's right.
and he played the Rex 4 model.
Yeah.
And I've always like the shaped, the
Yeah.
weird shape. Like my very first bass was a BC Rich Warlock, so I always loved the crazy shapes, you know. And this was kind of like an Explorer type.
Yeah,
vibe.
Rounded Explorer, right?
A Rounded Explorer, yeah. So I love the model. I approached Spectre forever ago when I was just, you know, a no-name guy and a small band out of Nashville, actually, at that point. And I was looking for a sponsorship, and Spectre gave me a sponsorship even way back then. So when I got the gig with Death Punch, I pretty much had the doors of the world open to me. I could have gone with anybody at that point. But I love Spectre. Great basses. I like the fact that they are a bass company. It's not a guitar company that makes basses. Stuart Spector and those guys just make basses.
That's cool,
Neck
right?
through the body, and I love the Rex
It's like
model.
a limbic, you know?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
they make guitars, but they were really, really focused on basses, you
Definitely.
know?
And I love the tone, and they were great to me before Death Punch, so I'm a very loyal guy. Stuck with those guys, and they stuck with me. Ended up giving me my own signature model about 3 years into Death Punch.
What's the amps you use?
Mesa Boogie.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
I'm old school. That's old school Metallica.
Oh yeah, I had an M400 years ago.
Wow.
And I went to another bass company, one that I was after, and they pretty much just brushed me off like, "Who is this guy?" And I was like, all right, I get your vibe. But Mesa
Yeah.
Boogie was like, "Yeah, no problem, man. We love the band."
Petaluma Company.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those guys have been great. Started off playing the Big Block 750, moved into, they have a brand new amp called the Strategy.
Yeah.
And it's basically like an updated version of the M400 and just got that nice growl, real thick tone, just beautiful. So
Do you play with pick or fingers?
play with the pick.
Oh, yeah.
Growing up, when I first started learning how to play bass, again, being a Cliff Burton fan.
Of course.
I was at that phase where I could kind of pick, do I want to go fingers or do I want to learn the pick?
Yeah.
And I was also a huge James Hetfield fan.
Oh, God.
So, you know, Cliff Burton had done everything possible with fingers. I was like, what the hell can I add to bass that he hasn't already done if I'm using my fingers? So I always liked James Hetfield and was into the pick style and, you know, playing heavy stuff. I was like, I'm going with pick. So Jason Newsted was a huge influence on me on the heavy right hand downstroke that I always use.
Yeah. Do you remember the first Metallica record that you got? Like what? Because you're a huge Metallica guy, and so am I.
Yeah.
At one point, I think about 5 years ago, I was sitting there watching the 30-year anniversary of them. They did like 5 nights at the Fillmore, and they had all their influences come play. Merciful Fate played, and Biff from Saxon, and Rob Halford sang, and Dave Mustaine played. And as I watched this, and being from the Bay Area and stuff, I felt so much pride, you know. I was just like, holy shit, these guys were dirt bags. They come from the bottom of the barrel and make it, and not only do they make it, but 30 years later we're here watching them. They've done so many great things. Like the ticket for that show was $6.
No way, really?
That was like what their original ticket was, so they wanted it like that.
Yeah.
But everything about those guys is, you know, and they get beat up all the time. It's hilarious. I'm like, fuck you. Like Lars takes more lashings than anyone I know, and it's just like you guys are just idiots, you know.
Anybody on top is going to get people trying to cut them down, you know.
And everybody always says it's that you know, Napster, man, they went after him and stuff. It's like, yeah, it turned out they were right.
100%.
Nobody's saying anything about that
now. Opening numbers are 64,000. You're getting dropped, you know. You're not getting dropped now. You're one of the big sellers.
Even Metallica, you think they want to be on the road like every year, all year? No, they got it. There's no more record sales, you know?
Exactly.
And I hate that thought of when people think, oh, well, they're millionaires. They're not going to miss this money. And it's like, that's not the point.
Yeah.
It cost them money to make that record.
Exactly.
It doesn't get made free.
Yeah, I mean, you see the huge stage sets they're doing.
Oh, my God.
You got to have some money.
$5 million that stage cost.
Oh, yeah.
And they do it for the fans. Like, they could easily just go out on a wood stage and just play straight at you and do it.
Hang up a banner, we're Metallica.
Yep.
Middle
that's
fingers
it.
up, let's go. You know?
And grab the money money and roll.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same thing with Maiden too. Those guys are putting on huge productions.
Maiden.
Rammstein.
Yeah.
Huge productions, and that all costs money.
And not only does it cost money, but it's beyond like work wise. Like every day you got to set this thing up.
Yeah. Mechanical Eddie up there,
It's crazy, man. What record was it in Metallica that knocked you out?
Master of Puppets was my very first
Right.
Metallica record. I remember distinctly going to Disc Jockey on Nicholasville Road in Kentucky.
Yeah.
And it was when the Raising Hell Run DMC record had came out.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd been reading about Metallica in Circus Magazine. I hadn't heard them yet. And I had Run DMC in one hand. I had Metallica in the other. And I was like, all right, I'm going with Metallica. And yeah. Life changed at that point.
Wow, that is back in that day too. I always describe to people, if you make the wrong choice, you didn't have a lot of money. You're like, fuck.
Yeah,
I totally bought the wrong thing.
I got to mow how many yards to get the next one?
Yeah, it's so true. And and one bad record just sat in the corner, and you're just like, God, I'm never gonna listen to that again.
Exactly.
Man, that feels so nasty.
Yeah, but yeah, I remember I had the cassette. And I remember like playing it to my friends on the phone. I was like, "Oh, you got to hear this! This is the fastest thing I've ever heard." Because battery comes out.
Yo, it's unbelievable.
It starts off with that little beautiful acoustic piece. You're like, "Oh, this is gonna be nice." Whoa, what the hell just happened?
Yeah,
so
man.
I played it for everybody back home.
I love the old Hetfield, say from Justice tour to the end of the Black tour, Black Album tour.
Oh yeah,
where he's just this incredible biker Viking guy, and there was no guy like him to me.
I'd say I don't know anybody else that adopted that vibe at all.
Yeah.
Google my image.
You got a crazy beard. How long have you been growing that? It looks like the guy on Pirates of the Caribbean, right? The octopus guy or whatever.
A little Davy Jones, Davy Jones vibe to it.
How long have you been? Did you have that at Cosmo?
What happened was, right when I was at the Hard Rock and was getting the Cosmopolitan gig, I think the beard was longer than it is now, actually.
Really?
Yeah,
and you could work like that,
at
huh?
the Hard Rock. Well, I had it like kind of ponytailed, double, triple ponytail thing going on. But yeah, I actually cut off the beard to get the job at the Cosmopolitan. 2 days after I cut the beard, I found out Death Punch was looking for a bass player. I was like, oh no. Of course they're looking for a bass player now.
You cut the whole beard or just the dread part of the beard?
The dread part. I went into like business professional beard.
Oh, wow. Yeah. You just fucking party on the front, long in the back. Exactly. You know that one. That's hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you been growing that?
I got the gig with Death Punch in May of 2010 or 11. I can't remember now. But it's been 4.5 years. From the moment that I got the gig, I haven't touched it since then.
So the beard grows down long and then you turn it into dreads?
Yeah, actually, I had dreadlocks before in the beard when I was at the Hard Rock. And I knew once I got the gig that I wanted to go back to having that vibe because I loved it.
Who inspired you to do that?
I was actually on tour in Nashville, actually, and we were out on tour with a band called Straight Line Stitch.
Yeah.
And my guitarist at the time had real long dreads, a little short guy named Eli, had them about to the back of his knees, and I had a big bushy, Duck Dynasty beard, essentially.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Did you ever think about dreading your beard?" I'm like, I never really thought about it. That might be kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of forgot about it. And then one day I was driving down Tropicana Boulevard, actually, right here in Vegas, on my way to the work at the Hard Rock. And I'm driving by, and I see this homeless guy out of the corner of my eye. Got this ratty, nasty dreadlock beard. I was like, I can do that better.
Wow. How do you do it? Do you get like some kind of shit to goop it together?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I actually, when I first started trying to get the dreads back, I just quit brushing it. So that way I could kind of see where the natural dreads went. And then I did that for a full 6-week tour. Had already developed some kind of natural dreads, and then basically just manipulated them from there, make them thicker.
Right.
Yeah, I use like a beeswax, a dread powder, like a sea salt spray, kind of give it a little more grittier texture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took forever to get it dreaded, but yeah.
Well, that fucking thing is long as fuck.
Thank you.
I mean, it's their torso length.
Yeah, they really are. Yeah, it's down past the belly button at this point.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Now, we both love Harleys.
Yes.
and you ride and I ride. We're right next to the new dealer here.
Oh, yeah.
A giant one. I'm going to go in there on Wednesday. I haven't gone in there yet. How is it?
It's great. Yeah.
They used to have that other one down there. It was the old grocery store or whatever. Remember that
You're talking about the one over on Eastern?
Yeah, I guess it was huge.
Yeah, it's still over there.
Yeah, I recently, last week, went to Scottsdale. They opened the largest Harley dealer in the world.
Nice.
And it has a chapel in it.
Really?
Yeah.
To get married at the Harley
You can get
store.
married. So I said you could go downstairs, you buy a bike. Then you go upstairs, you get married.
Yeah.
And then your wife sends you back downstairs to sell your bike.
Exactly. That's funny. Yeah, I bought a Road Glide. I guess it was like October, about a year. Has it been a year? About a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What color is it? It's orange,
black.
right?
No.
Oh, it's white?
Black.
Oh, black.
Black.
I thought it was that amber whiskey color, you know. Now, is this your first Harley?
My first Harley. I had a Honda before that. We actually took our motorcycles out on the road with us on Mayhem.
Oh, that's fucking great.
Yeah.
Lenny
Oh,
Kravitz
so
did that.
awesome, man.
They just slid right into the bay.
Oh, ours was a pain in the ass.
Oh.
We don't have that Lenny Kravitz money.
Yeah, right. I know.
I was basically paying the guitar tech $20 a day. Hey, man, just put it in there, make sure it's not jacked up, you know.
and they're just putting it in the trailer on wheel chocks?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, we had an extra empty trailer that we could put behind one of the buses, and we had me, Jason, our guitarist, and our tour manager Brandon all had our bikes in there. And days off, go riding around.
There's fucking nothing better than that, right?
It's the best.
You're playing rock, and then you're off, and you're like, well, we're out here in Milwaukee. Let's ride through it and look at it.
Exactly. Same thing. Like we were up in Reno and went a great scenic ride up around the lake that's up there.
Yeah,
Incredible.
I've rode this whole country.
Oh, nice.
And people always go like, "You're so lucky to travel. Like you've been to Europe and stuff." And I'm like, "Have you been to America?"
Exactly.
I mean, you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
Wide open
until you
spaces.
go to like Zion.
Oh, yeah.
Or use, as cheesy as it sounds, when I rolled up on the Mount Rushmore, and you just stop, you turn the corner and you see like one of their noses, like
Yeah.
I think it's Washington. It stops you in your tracks.
Really does.
You're like, some men went up there every day.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was their job and chipped away at that fucking mountain.
Yeah.
And made that thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then around the corner, the American Indians are building Crazy Horse.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like 100 times the size of it.
Exactly.
It's going to take 200 years, they say, to make it.
Yeah.
And they won't take any help because they're like, fuck you. You already burned us the first time.
Exactly. Yeah.
That thing is
We want your help now.
incredible. But when you ride around America, man, it's really, and I can talk to you about it. It's funny because I got off of Harleys for a while. I rode Harleys all my life. And then Sons of Anarchy came, and I was tired of the guy, pump up your chest vest guys that don't understand the real world of club culture, which is like crazy. This ain't like throw the vest on, let's go to the rock store.
Exactly.
It's fucking real shit, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to ride Beamer and Ducati for a while. I had a Beamer GS, rode it all over.
Oh, yeah.
And no car, riding rain.
Is that what Neil Peart was?
That's right.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and also those guys did, the Star Wars guy, Ian, they rode around the world or whatever
No
on
way.
him. You ever seen that DVD?
I haven't seen that one. Nice. I'll have to look that one
these
up.
two guys, they ride like around the world and on two Beamers.
Nice.
It's fucking insane
I would
what they
love
go
to.
through.
I would love to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about Grant earlier.
Yeah.
We did a ride for Amfar called Life Ride. And I think I racked up 2,500 miles just basically here on the west side of the country. And it's beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Some of the most challenging riding I've done was on that one. We rode from just outside, I think it was St. George, Utah, into Sedona. It was about a 300-mile trip. And 250 of those miles were in torrential downpours.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was brutal.
I've been there.
Brutal.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Now, were you on your road glide?
Yeah, I just bought it in October, and I had the chance to use Harley had donated some bikes, and they were sponsoring the whole thing, so I could have used whatever Harley bike. I was like, nope, I want to use my own. You know, I'm going to get out there and put some miles on my bike.
Yeah, that's how you really learn a bike.
Oh, yeah.
And the Road Glide is one of my favorite. I've had 3 different Road Glides. I had a Screaming Eagle 2010.
Ooh, nice.
But the fixed fairing is so cool. You could be doing 100, you don't even know because, you know, and you got no weight on the handlebars because it's fixed to the frame.
Exactly.
I had a couple street glides, but I'm never a fan of it because that bat wing on your bars, it feels weird. The faster you're going, the wind blows on
Get the buffering going.
Yeah, it's not happening. Now my favorite is the Road King because I don't give a fuck about a stereo because you can't really hear it that good once you get up to 80, 90.
That's true.
It's always just like
yeah. That's the one reason I haven't put new pipes on the bike because
Yeah.
I like being able to hear the stereo a little bit, you know.
Yeah, exactly. But once you get into the Road King again, it's just the soul of a motorcycle. It's all steel.
Oh, yeah.
The front end with the chrome nacelle and the it's just steel. There's no plastic on it except for the saddlebags,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, yeah.
But that to me takes me back to like this looks like Exacta Elvis's bike. This looks like the bikes they rode in the war, you know, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just you and the bike, you know.
I love it. That's
I got a shield, but it pops on and off. So when I'm in town, I'm on a regular bike.
One of my favorite spots in life is doing about 75 on that Road Glide. It's got like a sweet spot right there.
Yeah.
Just the whole world slows down. You got Slayer playing on the radio.
Yep.
You're like, oh, this is incredible. Yeah. Anytime, you know, I got stress going on or whatever, I'm like, I'm getting on the bike.
Yeah.
I go out and all of a sudden I feel better for a little while.
Now, how many miles you got on it?
I'm coming up on 10,000 right now.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, I've been on the road a lot.
Of course.
So, yeah, 10,000 in a year with being out on the road probably 8 or 9 months out of that.
It's good.
Pretty solid riding, yeah.
It's cold as fuck out here in Vegas right now.
It is right now. It's I was in London just a little while ago, and my wife came over and she's like, "It's not much warmer over in Vegas." I was like, "Bullshit, it's gonna be warmer." I got off the plane. I was like, "What the hell is this?"
It was 39 last night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Exactly.
I rode here. I remember last year, I left LA, it was like 65,
Oh, yeah.
and I came down, you're coming down the long hill where you can see State Line where the roller coaster is,
Oh, yeah.
Buffalo Bills, and I ran out of gas.
Ooh.
And it looked like it was right there, but the GPS said 8 miles.
Oh, yeah.
And right when I ran out, just like a fucking nightmare horror film, the sun dropped behind the hill,
Oh.
and it went from like maybe 55 to all of a sudden 40.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm out there with no gas.
Yep.
And no cell service.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck?
Yep.
And all of a sudden I feel like I'm actually scared. I'm like, man, I got no cell, no gas, and trucks are blazing by me like,
Oh yeah.
whoa.
That's the worst. Yeah.
And it was one of the few times where a cop was cool.
Oh no way.
It
Nice.
was a highway patrol. He pulled up. He goes, "What's going on?" And I go, "Here's what's going on, dude. I'm out of gas. I need a ride up to there." And he goes, "I can't give you a ride back. It's illegal for me to put gas in the ride."
In the car. Yeah.
And so I go, well, I got to be at the Tropicana to do shows in 2 hours.
Ooh.
If I miss them, I get canceled and I miss out on the money. He goes, "Oh, you a comedian?" I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "All right, jump in. Don't tell anyone. I'll
Nice.
give you a ride back."
That's
So I
cool.
left the bike there. He drove me up there. I filled it up. I bought him a coffee. He drove back. I filled it, gave him the gas can, and made it 10 minutes before.
No
I
way.
ran in. I was on stage. I smelled like gas.
Gas.
Yeah. But and it's so funny how fucking cold it was instantly out there.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Radical. Sun goes down and it's desert winter.
I went up to, we were talking about Zion. I drove up to Zion, and, you know, when you're living in Vegas, you get to be very Vegas-centric.
Yeah.
If it's warm in Vegas, oh, it's got to be warm everywhere else.
That's what you
know?
think, right?
Yep.
It's so funny. Like
And
I
this
even
was
think that with Arizona too. And then you get to some elevation, you go, "What an idiot I am."
Exactly. That's exactly what happened to me. I went up to Zion, and I had, like, you know, the jacket with the it was a Joe Rocket, so it had all the where the wind would go right through you, no
Yeah.
coverage whatsoever.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
And I'm coming home. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go up north and take it over this way. It looks like it gets some elevation right
It
there.
was perforated.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I get up. I don't know what the elevation was, but all of a sudden it starts snowing, and it was the coldest I've ever been on a motorcycle. I was like,
Happened to
this
me,
is
man.
stupid.
I fucking did a gig in LA at 8 o'clock, and then I was going to do a gig in Bakersfield at 10:30. I go, no problem. I go over the grapevine.
Oh, yeah.
32 with sleet.
Oh.
And my fucking thumbs, I have heated grips, but my hands were heated, but my thumbs couldn't get onto the heated part. So they were just fucking, they were numb. I go, oh, these are frostbitten. I'm fucking dumb. All for a $50 gig.
Exactly.
And I get to, and then I get to the bottom of the hill. I get like a hot chocolate, and I'm just throwing my thumbs on it. They come back to life. I get to the gig. There's 9 people there.
Nice.
They're watching a Raider game. They don't give a fuck about me.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. I just froze almost died, and there's no one here.
Committed to the art, man. Committed to the art, man.
So do you ride? Have you been to Sturgis?
We actually played Sturgis for the first time.
Wow.
The Buffalo Chip. Yeah, that was this past year.
That shit's great, right? The Buffalo Chip.
It was awesome. We did that Amphar ride right after that, and I had planned on riding my bike up to Sturgis, and then I was going to meet them up in Park City, Utah, I think it was.
Yeah.
But management scheduled a photo shoot 2 days after Sturgis. I was like, all right, I guess that kind of shoots that. So I didn't get to ride to Sturgis, but because I was not going to hightail it from Sturgis back all the way down to Vegas in 2 days. I was like, no way. I'm not doing it. I want to be able to relax.
I've done it 6 times.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice.
We got to do it. It's too hard
down.
for you to do it, though, or me, right? Because, like, you go, we're doing it, and then, they booked a tour.
Exactly.
Every fucking time.
Are you friends with Ricky Rackman as well?
Yeah, hell yeah. Great friends.
I don't know how many times I've tried to do his cross-country ride with him.
Yeah.
And some tour always comes up. Yeah.
Ricky's a great man. I've known him all my life. And when I got run over on the motorcycle, he was like one of the first guys to call. And he's like, I got your lawyer. I got your dudes.
That's awesome.
Protection.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. And Tammy, all these guys are real riders.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I've rode all over this fucking place.
I can imagine. Yeah. He's off in the Carolinas somewhere now and seems to be loving it.
Oh, yeah. He moved. It's so strange to think Ricky moved because he's like a Hollywood staple.
Mr. Hollywood, exactly.
I mean, when I was a kid, that GNR shit. Are you a GNR guy?
A little bit, yeah. I actually, when Appetite for Destruction came out, I was so into like crazy death metal at that point. I completely missed it.
Wow.
And had to go back. To get it later.
Now, was it the mentality of like, fuck that poser shit? Because that was big back then. Remember, like posers, man?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, death metal only.
But like Guns N' Roses was still that cool band.
They were.
Even if you were into crazy heavy stuff, that band was still cool.
They crossed over.
Exactly. But it never, obviously, Welcome to the Jungle, all the stuff that was on the radio, but then Paradise City, I didn't care.
Yeah.
I was listening to Obituary or whoever it was at that point.
Yeah, what kind of death metal are you into?
I used to, the classic stuff. I love Deicide, Obituary, Morbid Angel.
Yeah.
I was into all that stuff. And now I don't really listen to it as much. I guess
it's kind of the same now, right?
The closest,
to me it is.
Yeah, the closest thing that I'll listen to now would probably be like Misery Index.
Yep.
Listen to those guys.
Yeah.
Still a big fan of Napalm Death.
Oh, yeah, goddamn Napalm Death. You get into the Merciful Fate?
Not as much. I love King Diamond solo stuff.
Right, wow.
But, I wasn't into the
Merciful Fate's where it's at, dude.
Yeah.
Come on,
I like the vibe.
King Diamond, I just saw him a couple weeks ago. Incredible. But Merciful Fate, like 10 times above that.
Oh, nice.
Because it was just like, those guys are like the originators of like Satan rock.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like when I saw Slayer on the Seasons tour and the South to Heaven tour and King Diamond, Merciful Fate on Don't Break the Oath, I was pretty young and I was like, hey, these guys are fucking like scary dudes.
Oh yeah.
I really felt like it was like, wow. Like I'm not a religious guy or anything, but I'm also like, hey, that's some next level crazy fuckers right there. Like I'm hanging in the crazy biker world, but they're like, is that real? Are they into Satan?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. The first experience I had with King Diamond was after he got out of Merciful Fate.
Yeah.
And Abigail came out.
I just saw it. Just did the whole record.
I was going to ask that. Actually.
It was unbelievable.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Are you a religious guy? You're from Kentucky. That's the Bible Belt out there, right?
Yeah, I grew up religious with my family and whatnot. I actually originally wanted to be a youth minister.
No shit.
Yeah. But now just a good solid guy now.
Wow, a youth minister.
Youth minister, yeah.
Wow.
Actually, the fracturing of the church with me happened when I was going to go on a trip. This was after some sort of hurricane happened, and they were going to go down and do some mission work down there. And I had long blonde hair. And they literally told me that to be able to go on this mission trip, I had to cut my hair.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, I don't think I'm into this anymore.
Yeah.
If that vibe if they're more into how I look versus what I want to do for the people down there,
Yep.
it's not for me anymore.
Well,
And that put a real sour taste
That
on
is
my mouth.
religion, though, right? It's like, why would you care what I look like if I'm believe in the man,
Yeah.
whatever you want, whatever you believe in, you
Oh, yeah.
know?
Yeah, that one.
It shouldn't matter. I shouldn't have to look like cookie cutter, you know, like we all represent, you know, the church here or whatever.
Exactly.
It's a bizarre thing to me.
Yeah.
You know? Now you work out a lot. I see you work out. You can tell I do too.
I see that, man. Looking good. Looking good.
You're 41.
41, yeah.
I want to kind of get back into shape. It's hilarious. I see Rogan works out like a motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
And I respect it. And I think once you get up and start doing it, then you feel good and it gets a routine.
100%.
Now, I'm not some piece of shit. I do hike every day of my life, but now I just moved from my incredible place where I could hike, and I got to figure out what I'm going to do.
Okay.
But you do a lot of weights. You go to the gym.
Yep.
You work out on the road too.
Oh, yeah. I actually, the whole fitness thing started for me years ago. 8 years ago, I guess. I was feeling like crap.
Drugs?
No.
No drugs.
No.
Ever drugs?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm recently sober.
Recently?
So, yeah. Like within the last, actually, Paris. When the Paris thing happened, I cut everything off. I've been sober since then.
Is that right?
Yep.
Just boom?
Yep.
Now, what brought that on? You were just like, I want to be clear-headed, enjoy life?
Clear-headed, and alcohol is one of those things where I don't really consider myself an alcoholic, but I do make some fucking stupid decisions once the alcohol hits me.
Are you a big like drunk like or are you like a fuck you guys? We got to get fucking what kind of drunk?
I guess I'm kind of the like I don't know. I mean, you know, your own perception is much different than how other people perceive you when you got the alcohol going. My wife certainly never liked it. She a lot of it was for her too. You know, she's much smarter than me, much more disciplined than me, and was trying to get me to do it for a long time. And then finally, when Paris happened, I basically had a breakdown that night.
Yeah.
I mean, it hit me hard. I was drinking. I'd done a couple of Adderalls and spiraled that night. And I was like, and anybody that knows me from social media would have no idea that I did any of that stuff. They know me as kind of a drinker, but yeah, I put up a good
You
front.
were into a lot of pills?
No, not at all.
Oh.
Just I happened to do it that night.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. And it went off to, drinking was always my thing.
Right.
Yeah.
What was your drink?
Maker's Mark and ginger ale for the most part, yeah. But I love a good old-fashioned. Old-fashioned's my favorite drink in the world.
It's funny because metal is such a drinking world. Like James Hetfield, they were the Alcoholica.
Oh, yeah.
My first time I tried Jaeger was because of Metallica. They were drinking Jaeger, and that was the thing. And then, of course, Pantera was the heavy booze and
Vinnie
metal.
Paul, another guy that lives here in Vegas.
Who?
Vinnie Paul.
Oh, yeah, Vinnie Paul. I think I saw Vinnie Paul last night here at the casino.
You may have.
Yeah, I think I did see him. Yeah, he was with his wife or whatever.
Oh, yeah. His girl.
I think they were here at Rockfall.
Oh, yeah, they go there all the time.
That's Vinnie Paul.
100%.
And then I was like, God, I'd like to get him on the podcast.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? I had Rex Brown on, and you want to talk about an episode that fucking broke the charts.
Oh, nice.
He did the Kiss band with Tishy and them called Alive.
Okay.
They went and did a Live 2 record, the whole thing at the
that would've
Whiskey.
ruled, yeah.
And so I interviewed them each one, and man, fucking... But the booze, like I quit in, I think, 92, but no program or anything.
Yeah.
I was just pretty destructive. And when you're on the road, you drink every day, even if it's just 2 or 3 beers. But if it's every day, after 364 days, you're like all bloated and slow and fucking.
Yeah.
So you drink and then you'd go work out. And
that was the thing. That was always my thing. I was like, fuck, if I'm still making the gym, I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
And then, there were days, I have a trainer here in Vegas. I'd be out drinking, whiskey the night before and go do heavy chest and back the next day. And as he's spotting me doing bench presses, I just see his face. I'm like, I know I smell like a bar right now. So yeah, that kind of did it too. I was putting so much work into working out.
Yeah.
And then putting all those empty calories in at the end of the night. It wasn't making any sense for me. It just wasn't working anymore.
I talk to a lot of people, and it's funny. Like I'm an expert on, like, let's say Harley FXRs.
Okay.
Like I know everything about them, or if I'm doing something like comedy, I dive down the rabbit hole and I learn everything about it, and I know every like thing. But like nutrition and health and food and other, nobody knows anything about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That girl right there does.
Yeah, your lady does. Is she a nutritionist?
No, just it's we do a lot of studying. She cooks, and it's all pretty much all organic, non-GMO.
Yeah,
real healthy stuff. Yeah, and it tastes great. And that's something else I was going to talk about too with this whole health thing. Is you go to Europe and you see all these skinny people over there. Everybody's healthy and whatnot. And I think a lot of it has to do with the GMOs that we have over here. Because my guitar bass tech was telling me, he goes over to Europe, eats like a pig, drinks like a pig the whole time, and then comes back and has lost weight.
Yeah, right.
It's because that's a natural state of food over there, while we have all the GMOs over here.
Yeah,
filling us up with fake garbage, basically.
It's garbage, and now they just passed where the Food and Drug said it's okay to make this fake salmon.
Yeah,
and you're going like, everybody. When I was young, my grandmother or my grandfather, everybody's grandma and grandfather smoked and drank till they were 100.
Oh, yeah.
And just fucking lived 100.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're in 2015 with some of the best medicine ever, and everybody dies at 60.
Exactly.
It makes no sense except for the food and what's in it.
Exactly.
And it's crazy how you could go, hey, this is called pink swill. There's no meat in this at all.
Yeah.
McDonald's, they make nuggets and burgers out of that.
Mm-hmm.
And you go, gross. And then they go and eat it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you're going, what the fuck? I never eat fast food ever. I'm just fat because I fucking am addicted to candy. If I didn't eat candy, I'd be like 140, my high school weight.
Yeah. So you'd lose 10 pounds is what you're saying.
Yeah, right. It's fucking, your math is wrong, brother. 60.
Yeah.
But
I just had LASIK. I don't know if it's working or not yet.
I weigh right now, I weigh 189.
Okay.
Which is 30 over I should weigh.
Gotcha.
And I dropped down. I got on the Atkins diet and was fucking lean in the mid 2000s. And then I did a movie and got on the set and just ate fucking Pop-Tarts
exactly
every day.
Yeah.
And
craft services
just out of boredom.
Oh, yeah.
You're in fucking Shreveport and you're on a set for 15 hours. You're like, I'm going to walk over here and, Pop-Tart. You just eat a Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
And then you walk by it an hour later and you're like, another Pop-Tart.
Exactly.
I'll fucking work out when I get home. And boom,
Yep.
I'm back into the garbage can mode.
Oh, yeah.
And, there's a thing on YouTube right now. There's like a cancer mini series on there. And they say sugar is what feeds the cancer.
Exactly.
Which is incredible, because I can't believe I'm alive.
Yeah, they say that's the most addictive substance in the world, And if you think about
I quit cocaine, I quit booze, I quit cigarettes. And I quit all those like for mind power of like, fuck you, I'm way stronger than this.
Yep.
I smoked cigarettes for fucking, 20 years or something. And one day said, I'm out.
Damn.
It was hard as fuck. I talked to a guy, he said, eat pumpkin seeds or sunflower seeds, keep your hands busy.
Yeah.
The salt will detour the nicotine cravings. And I did that for a few weeks. And then you get into a new routine of, getting up and not smoking and stuff.
Yeah.
And same with booze. I switched to Arizona iced teas, blew up fat guy because you're just drinking all these things like booze. And then I go, I got to get off these. And I switched to Diet Coke, which is the biggest demon ever besides candy.
Yeah.
I got off those. And now I just drink like coffee with nothing in it,
Gotcha.
And I quit caffeine
Oh, man.
like 6 months ago because I was going to shoot my special. And I was like, I want to be coherent.
Oh, yeah.
So now it's decaf iced coffee.
I gotcha. Yeah.
But probably way better than anything I was ever drinking.
100%.
Yeah.
A little acidic, but other than that, I mean, who cares,
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard, man.
Yeah. I feel like I'm just getting over that hump too, There's been times over the last, what'd you say, about a year probably, where I've tried to quit but again,
are you going to meetings?
No, not like, it's really just like you were saying, I'm stronger than that. I'm starting to feel better already.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. I'm like I said, I'm at the point now where I finally feel like I'm kind of turning that corner.
Yeah.
And I don't really have the cravings too much anymore. It's more like a social thing for me.
That's it.
Yeah. And
but you get over it.
That's the thing too. Like when you're out in a band, alcohol's everywhere. Everybody's hanging out, partying, and it's like, ugh.
But you get into other shit.
I'm hoping
you start finding other people, and you get into like you get into other addictions. Like mine's leather jackets and motorcycles.
Very nice, exactly.
And comedy. Your addiction becomes work ethic.
Oh, cool.
Like I must work. I got to get funnier. Like you might write songs or whatever you can do.
Yeah.
It becomes your mind becomes obsessed with something else.
Yeah, I have been writing a lot more lyrics since I became
weed?
clear. Nope, nothing at all.
You ever get into weed?
It always made me sleepy.
Me
I never
too.
really liked it. Yeah,
I'm an
wasn't
up
my
guy.
thing. Yeah, me too. I was. I enjoyed
Powders?
The uppers. Yep, I got into that about a little bit ago.
Yeah.
But not even that bad. I think I've probably done
crazy
it 20
out
times
here
total.
in
Yeah.
Vegas, right?
Oh yeah, everywhere.
People are it's just cocaine and meth out here.
I never got into that one, thankfully. Yeah.
That one's a twisted
Yeah.
one.
I've heard stories of that.
That'll take you into some weird worlds. Something so like one bump, and then all of a sudden you're up 24 hours.
Ugh.
What the fuck is in that?
Yeah. No, but yeah, off all that stuff right now, and fingers crossed. And
There you go, man. You're gonna do it. It's easy.
Yeah.
I think it's easy,
stronger
man.
than that.
I mean, if a guy like you can go work out every day, you can quit booze. 'Cause
Exactly.
I can't go work out every day, and I quit booze.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There
I'm
we go.
like,
So there's hope
the
for me after all.
gym.
Yeah.
You get up, drive to a gym. You pay to go to the
Yeah.
gym.
Pay somebody to work me out the whole time
Yeah.
while I'm there. Yeah. Have him yelling at me the whole time. Yeah.
I mean, when I hear that, I just go like, oh, man. Yeah, I think about dumb shit like, I'm going to be all sweaty on my bike. You know what I mean? I always think that like I'm all fucking like you can't wear sweats to the gym on your
Right.
bike to the gym.
Exactly.
Sweat, that looks terrible.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I'm doing that. And actually, I saw a picture of me. We were off for a little bit before we did this last tour. It was us and Papa Roach, and we played in Lexington, Kentucky, which is my old hometown where I was from. And there's a picture of me that our monitor guy took. And I'd had off maybe 3 months in between that probably. And I was lifting heavy and just craziness. And there's a picture of me when I'm looking at my phone.
Yeah.
And just my arm.
Guns?
I was like, good Lord. I was like, I could not imagine what I would be if I didn't go out on the road, you know?
Yeah, you don't want to get that big. You don't want to be no Kane Roberts, you know?
Exactly.
I mean,
No.
there's something about a buffed rocker that's wrong to me.
You think so?
Not
Yeah.
you. I'm saying you look good. You're lean.
Yeah,
You
try
look
to be.
toned.
Try to be,
That
yeah.
shit is good. You look in tone. But I'm saying just guys up there that are all fucking buffed.
Yeah,
Like, let's play some rock.
there's certainly a visual line
Yeah.
to be up on that stage.
Yeah.
And I like to get as close to that as possible.
Hetfield did the caveman diet before the 30-year anniversaries.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to look and be the weight that he was when they started.
Nice.
And he did it.
No way, damn.
It was incredible. Now, when he walked on stage, I was at the first night, and he walked on, and he just had a vest on and the bullet belt. Like
Oh,
back
I
in the
remember
day.
that, actually, yeah.
And I was
saw
like,
pictures of that.
what the fuck? This guy looks amazing, man.
Yeah.
And, you know, I love dudes that can get it together. It's because it's hard. We're grown men and we're idiots.
One reason I actually started working out was we went to, we played a rock and roll cruise called Shiprocked.
Oh, yeah, I know that one.
And I was on a boat with Jeff Tate from Queensryche.
Oh, yeah.
And he's older than me, and he was completely ripped.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm younger than this guy doing the exact same thing he's doing, and I look like fucking shit.
Yeah.
There was no excuse for me not to be working out now, and that's when the weight started coming in at that point.
it's true.
Before, I was training Muay Thai, doing kickboxing and whatnot.
It's funny to think that because you're on Shipwrecked where you could just eat all day and night garbage for free.
I mean, granted, I started after Shiprocked.
Yeah, you gotta start out there because
I had to have that one last binge.
I was on one of those cruises.
Yeah.
I went on the Jam cruises, like the Grateful Dead Jam Band ones,
yeah.
you know? And I specifically remember they had an ice cream cone machine right by the stage, like, you know, into the entrance of the buffet.
Oh, yeah.
And I would just like walk over there. This is how an asshole I am. Like in a normal day, I wouldn't have one ice cream cone, but I'm on this cruise. I had like 9 a day.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like, yeah. And people would go, are you having another cone? I go, this is the same one, dude. Fucking,
Hiding it.
oh,
Yeah.
man, that soft serve shit, man.
yeah.
It's like, fuck.
That's like us when we do the cruises, you know. I love pizza, but I don't really eat it that much.
Yeah.
On a cruise, it's available 24 hours a day. That's the one food you can go get
What
every
a
single
fucking
time you want.
garbage we are, right?
Wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I'm a little hungry. Maybe I'll go get pizza real fast.
There's no reason. You're not even hungry.
I know.
Like I'm here at the casino and they give you the like buffet, you know. You're not even hungry and you're like, I'm hitting the buffet.
Yep.
And you're down there and you do like 9 desserts.
Oh, yeah.
And then some shit Chinese food loaded with salt.
Everything's fried the whole time.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Delicious, though.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah. Well, man, it was great to have you
For
on.
sure, man. Thank you so much.
So
Really
cool to have
appreciate
you
it.
on because, you know, we met for a couple minutes and then you've been busy and I have too.
Both of us been bouncing around, and finally you come to my hometown, and here we are at the Tropicana.
Yeah. And we're gonna you're gonna see some comedy tonight.
Looking forward to it.
Are you a big comedy fan?
Yeah. I mean, I was just watching a couple of things on Netflix today. I was watching Bill Burr on there today.
Oh yeah, which one? The black and white one?
Yes, exactly.
Incredible.
Yeah. It's so good.
Incredible.
Jesselnick's thing that he just did.
That's my favorite one.
It's the best.
I'll tell you what. There's 2 specials that knock me out in the last 10 years.
Okay.
2006, Norm Macdonald's. It's called Norm Doing Stand Up. It's live at the Fillmore.
Okay.
It's incredible. Jeselnik's special. I talked
is
about
it Thoughts and Prayers. Is that the name of it?
Yeah. Thoughts and Prayers.
Oh, so good.
So he does the first 40, it's Jeselnik, but then when he says, all right, that's the special, and then he gets into that last 20 about Shark Party and fuck you to Comedy Central and stuff,
yeah.
It's some of the funniest, darkest shit I've ever seen.
It really is. Yeah.
That's
the thing I like too about every single joke is incredibly offensive from start to finish. The dude is on every single point.
It's
the whole
so
time.
inspiring too.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I don't care.
Yeah. And to see him visually, having that type of content coming out.
Super hot looking guy. I think that's what makes it work because he looks great.
Yeah.
He's almost like a Chris Isaac. It'd be like if Chris Isaac played metal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You'd be like, what's going on here?
It'd be Volbeat. Volbeat at that point.
But it's very inspiring. And of course, as you get your own draw, it's easier to be your own material.
Exactly.
People are there for the Jeselnik thing. But you got to understand, starting comedy, how many people he must have offended.
100%.
And how many managers and agents were like, oh, no way.
Yeah.
All that because he didn't do the standard run-of-the-mill comedy.
Yeah.
That's what I look at as a comedian. I look at the fucking grind he had to do to get there.
Oh,
sure,
yeah.
he made it now, and the people are there like, we love you. But think about 10 years ago at an open mic when he's doing those dead baby jokes.
Exactly.
You know?
The first time I saw him was on, I think it was an HBO show or something. He was the very first act. And I can't remember what the joke was, but right out the gate, came out with that Jeselnik humor, and I was like, this is my favorite guy I've ever seen in my life.
The guy is fucking great. There's dudes out there. There's like Stanhope and him, Rogan. They all have this brand and great flavor and vibe, and Burr and Marin. They all have something to where it's like, that's their thing and they're fucking great. You know?
Yeah.
That's cool. You guys watch comedy on the bus?
Not so much. I'm like a Netflix guy. So when I get to the hotel, throw it on there. It's Kiss videos all the time around the bus.
No shit?
Kiss, and they were watching The Walking Dead, Weeds. Yeah, well, a lot of series. And then Jason, our guitarist, is totally into like World War II history. So if we have a satellite, it's always on the military channel.
Wow, he's just on that history military channel.
Always.
That's a weird thing, right? That people go and fought wars. You know, when you look at that shit like that Iwo Jima, the Clint Eastwood film from the Japanese point of view. It was like Flags of Our Father.
Okay.
So he did the American view, and then he did another film. They were back to back.
Oh, shit. I don't think I saw that one.
Iwo Jima.
Nice.
And when you see that kind of shit, like we think we got stuff tough, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
These guys are eating bugs, and their buddies are dead around them, and they're on a fucking, beachfront fighting. That I can't imagine.
That's one of the things too with Five Finger Death Punch. We're incredible supporters of the military, and you get all kinds of stories coming from those guys. And they're trained to run towards stuff that everybody else is running away from.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and hats off to those guys. I don't have it in me. I just play rock and roll.
100%, man.
Yeah.
And they listen to the rock and roll while they fight.
We actually just got an award in Germany when we played Dusseldorf. There's only been 2 acts that I've gotten it. It's the Soldier Appreciation Award.
Wow.
The other I just gave it away. The other act that got it was Elvis.
Oh,
years
wow.
ago. He got it. He had 47% of the vote. And they told us 2015, the Soldier Appreciation Award, we had 92% of the vote.
Wow.
Yeah. So
do you guys do gigs for the soldiers?
yeah, we've done. God, since I've been in the band, we played in Kuwait. We've done
Kuwait.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it was at the end of the war.
You do the
when
tours?
Everybody was drawing it out. Yeah, but before I was in the band, they did Iraq when shit was going down.
Wow.
And actually stayed in Saddam's palace while they were there.
Really?
Yeah, bombs going off around them. Got shot at in the helicopters on the way to the gigs. Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah, we'll put ourselves in it, to get over there and create some smiles on the faces of those helping us out.
Yeah, I love this country.
Me too.
But I'm not like the Ted Nugent, like, yeah, man, dude. I never understood that.
Yeah.
Of course, I love where we live, and I can't believe the freedom and how great it is and everything. And the soldiers are incredible out there, man.
100%,
It's a
yeah.
gig 90% of the world will not do or won't do.
I say 95.
Yeah, 95. Yeah, you're right. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, those guys have the hard job, and we've done a lot to kind of shine a light and give those guys a voice. We just did last year a video for The Wrong Side of Heaven,
Yeah.
and did a charity campaign with that, and raised over $250,000 to help out veterans suffering from PTSD and some homeless vets as well. So
Yeah, that's incredible.
actively involved in all that. Like I said, they've got the hard job. We've got a big platform and a big voice,
Yeah.
and able to use that positively.
It's so funny to think, you think about all these Vietnam guys that are still out there and they're just rocked from that, and no one helped them when they got back.
Oh, yeah.
It's got to be one of the most crazy, even World War II, where the wives just had to deal with it behind closed doors of these guys, what they've seen, and even us talking about the Paris thing, that's stuff that we're never going to forget.
Oh, never.
And I feel for the Eagles of Death Metal, man, because they're never going to forget that.
No. I really hope they get a chance to go back and do the Bataclan. I heard that they wanted to go back and be the first band to be back.
Absolutely.
I would love to see those guys.
Yeah, they got to do that. You got, Well, it's great to have you, and
Thank you, brother.
so cool to see you here. Instagram, tell them where it's at.
It's 5FDP, Chris Kael, ChrisKael. Also on Twitter there. You can find me on Facebook. If you want to get more information about the band, it's fivefingerdeathpunch.com. Newest record is Got Your Six. We're doing Shiprocked, and then in April we're going over to Australia, opening up for it's a new band, Black Sabbath, I think it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, you guys doing Sabbath?
Oh yeah, we're going out. I know.
Dude, you just dropped that at the end of the show? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Now, Rival Sons is doing 17 months with them or whatever.
They are on the same tour of Australia with us over there.
Oh, now you're the first band?
No, it's Rival Sons, us, and then Black Sabbath.
Wow. Are you doing any dates with Sabbath?
Not on that one. No, I haven't heard stuff past Australia.
Yeah.
I know we're doing some. They've announced a festival overseas somewhere, but I can't remember exactly where it is. But yeah, we should be releasing all the dates coming up here pretty soon.
Wow.
But yeah, got to have the new record out, and touring goes with that. So we'll be touring pretty solid for the next 18 months.
Oh, that's fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
Sabbath.
Yeah, Black Sabbath. Can't
Two
believe
great
it.
things, Australia and Sabbath.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come on. You going to go to the Bon Scott grave?
Oh yeah, I'm going to do all that stuff.
You got to do that. Send me a
Cannot wait.
picture from there.
For sure.
All right, man. Thanks for coming by. Great to have you. Let's go down and do some comedy, huh?
Yes.
All right. See you guys.